What are the best practices for protecting your online and offline sales from an enforcement perspective? When it comes to building an enforcement strategy that will protect your brand in both online and offline forums, it's best to take a dualistic approach: preventative measures and active enforcement. Best practices, preventative measures. Preventative measures are the strategies and tactics your company can take today to make enforcement against illicit sellers easier tomorrow. When done correctly, preventative measures may also dissuade future illegitimate sellers from exploiting your brand. Preventative measures include solid intellectual property portfolio. Use IP attorneys to help obtain registered trademarks for all countries where you intend to enforce, patent protection for all countries where you intend to enforce, and registered copyrights. It's hard to enforce against unauthorized sellers down the line if you don't have protectable IP assets in place. Marketplace tools like brand registry require registered trademarks. Unauthorized seller hire attorneys to check your IP. If you don't determine enforceable rights, they'll exploit your brand. If a lawsuit ever becomes necessary, an infringement action is tighter if you have official IP protections in place. Preparing for the first sale doctrine defense by creating material differences. If you're not familiar with the first sale doctrine defense, please go back and watch our videos entitled Trademark and Patent Infringement and First Sale Doctrine. Authorized retailer networks, get them in place today. For online and offline sales channels, work with your attorney to create authorized retailer agreements. Decide where you're going to publish information about your authorized retailer network, website, product packaging, and product inserts. Set up training programs with authorized retailers, customer service standards and expectations, and compliance with minimum advertised price MAP policies. Material differences, setting up practices that unauthorized sellers cannot imitate. Money-back guarantees, product warranties, quality inspection controls, safety inspection controls, and customer service standards. Best practices, active enforcement. Active enforcement strategies are necessary when trying to put a stop to existing unauthorized sellers. Monitoring. Create automated systems to continually scan online marketplaces for indications of unauthorized sales across the globe. Sub-map pricing, buy box control, sales spikes, negative reviews, altered content in product listings, rogue listings, and product quantities. Data analysis. Once unauthorized sellers have been located, it's time to take a look at the actual harm they are causing. We do this by determining: where are they operating? What is their sales volume for each of your products? How far below MAP are their pricing structures? How often are they selling your products? Do they control the buy box on Amazon? And how much product do they have on hand? Once we have all that data, we can help you prioritize which sellers we'll seek to take down first. High volume, sub-map, rogue, and buy box sellers are typically targeted first. Investigations to determine true identities. Sellers operating in online marketplaces like Amazon or Walmart.com do so using fictitious seller names. Those marketplaces are very protective of the true identities of sellers. It is this anonymity that allows unauthorized sellers to flourish online. We'll use our proprietary processes and tools to find the real people operating behind those storefronts. Law enforcement trained investigators. Proprietary OSINT, open source intelligence tools to help pierce anonymity. Current licensed private investigators. Clearances to access law enforcement and private investigator databases. A database containing the true identity of over 150,000 previously identified online offenders. Our goal is to obtain the following information in order to escalate enforcement efforts against real people: names and aliases, home addresses, business addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and social security numbers. Escalated enforcement. We don't need to deploy our entire arsenal against every unauthorized seller. New, smaller mom-and-pop type sellers may go away after receiving a single cease and desist (C&D) notice sent via the online communications portals when offered by the online marketplace. More sophisticated sellers won't even blink an eye at those communications. They require constantly escalating enforcement measures, including identification of the people operating the illicit storefront, C&D demand sent to them personally at their home and/or business addresses, demand for proof of purchase for products. Working with attorneys, we will send a draft federal court complaint for things like trademark infringement or unfair business practices. Sellers are given a short period of time to pull all illegitimate product listings or the lawsuit will be filed. Street credibility. A critical goal of all of these measures is to build your brand's reputation as having a highly aggressive, zero-tolerance stance toward unauthorized sellers. Unauthorized sellers don't like things to be hard. If you make illicit sales of your products uncomfortable for them, they're less likely to come back. Sellers will move on to poaching brands that don't take enforcement so seriously.